Rachel Siegel of the Washington Post is with us in a minute about whether a recession really is inevitable and what that means for your family. But first, for the politics, Chris Hahn, former advisor to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast, is with us. Points for honesty, right, Chris?
Well, look, I mean, these are big problems that recur. We've talked about it a million times. How many times are we going to have an oil crisis in this country where prices are out of control and we're struggling to make up? We got to move away from oil, and that's got to be a priority. But look, Hillary Clinton is exactly right. Anything that is not important towards winning an election cannot be the front and center of the Democratic Party agenda. There have been huge mistakes by, I would say, millennial activists who are not major players in the party, but major players on social media, by branding things like defund the police, which I think, in my history in politics, is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard said as an issue. It actually takes away from the problem you're trying to solve. Reform police, I think everybody could be for that.
Yeah.
Make them better. Do different things. We could all get behind that. Defund it? No. That is not something that would ever sell broadly in a political debate.
You say progressives on Twitter and millennial activists, part of the wish list, climate initiative, student debt, police reform, trans rights, protection for dreamers, all luxury list items if you're trying to deal with the economy. And you say you point out very clearly, this is not hard to understand. Hillary Clinton makes it very clear. Why does President Biden not embrace the philosophy that you just talked about?
Well, I think he does in a lot of ways. The problem is that now he's the president and he has got to solve the problems. And you know what? The president has a limited role in the recession.
Chris,
has a limited role in gas prices.
He's putting out proclamations about protecting 5- and 6-year-olds who think they're transgender is a priority for the administration. That cuts against everything you just argued.
Well, I don't know that that's a priority for the administration. I think standing up for rights and things you believe with, that's fine. I mean, look, the president can walk and chew gum at the same time. He needs to obviously work on the economy. He needs to have his team work on the economy. And he needs to obviously do what's in the best interest of the majority of Americans and, of course, support rights that have been trampled upon in this nation. And look, if we look around the country, we look at the extreme views being adopted by Republicans. You need to look no farther than the Texas GOP and what they adopted over the weekend, claiming Trump is still the president. This president needs to win. He needs to do what it takes to win.
Okay, you said he can walk and chew gum. But if you're wobbling while you're walking, don't you want to stop chewing gum until you can walk in a straight line, to continue the analogy?
I'm trying to follow that analogy.
Well, no, okay. I would use riding a bike as I could use riding a bike. But if you can't get the economy right, which so far the economy is on the road to disaster, you and I agree about that.
Right.
If you can't get that right, don't you just focus on that until you get it back on track before you worry about all these other things and start chewing gum?
I think you need to make sure that the American people understand that the priority is the economy and their well-being. Absolutely. Doesn't mean you can't do other things.
They don't. His approval.
You need to encourage. He needs to do a better job. Hold on.
They don't understand that. They don't agree with it. The polling has his approval on the economy at 30%.
He needs to do a better job assuring the American people that every day he wakes up and says, how am I going to resolve these economic problems with the limited tools that the president has? How am I going to use those tools to resolve these issues that are hurting everyday Americans? They are paying too much to get their kids to school. It's affecting the price of goods and other things around this country. The president has to understand that that is what he needs to be communicating to the public. That doesn't mean he can't work on the other things, but the American people need to understand that that is his priority. And he needs to do a better job at it.
The big thing that he is talking about that's evidently going to be decided before July 4th when everyone goes on vacation is the federal gas tax holiday, suspending the federal gas tax. National average is $4.98. Great news, down 2 cents over the weekend. If the federal gas tax is suspended, that would bring the cost of gas down a whopping 18 cents a gallon, so roughly $3 for the average American every time you fill up. That's just quite literally pennies, is it not, in terms of any kind of meaningful change?
Yeah, and the devastation it would do to the Highway Trust Fund would be pretty bad, actually. So I would not even do that because I quite frankly think that the oil companies would eat that up in profit in a week, as they did here in New York State when we got rid of our gas tax. So I think it's kind of a ridiculous thing, and I don't think the president should even be considering it. What I do think he should be doing is putting pressure on oil refineries who are really dragging their feet and getting their production up the state. He should use the Defense Production Act.
They're already at 95%.
Get to 100%. Get on it, okay? And it took them a while to get there. They weren't at 95% a week ago, a month ago. They're getting on it because they feel the pressure coming, and they better do more. And he needs to keep the pressure on them.
Before the pressure was to end all refineries. Now you want them to do more, but I digress. All right.
I don't know that I wanted to end all refineries. I think that we need to figure out a way to stop being addicted to this product that is held by dictators and tyrants around the world, and that we are at their mercy. It's time. We got to figure something out. We've got smart people in this country. They can figure it out.
we do indeed. You're among them, which is why we keep having you on, and reasonable as well. It's good to see you, my friend. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.